the part two of my discussion on my live stream discussion on depression, and I've got a few notes here. Symptoms of depression include feeling unhappy, low self-esteem, and finding no pleasure in things you usually enjoy. It affects about 5% of the global population, or about 280 million people worldwide as of 2020. Ah, yeah, well, yeah, you're back just at the right time, because I'm starting with me part two. It affects. Here's a few notes that I've got written down. It affects a person's thoughts, behaviour, feelings, and sense of well-being. The pleasure or joy that a person gets from certain experiences is reduced, and the afflicted person often experiences a loss of motivation or interest in those activities. They may experience in sadness, feelings of dejection or hopelessness, difficulty in thinking, in concentration, or a significant change in appetite or time spent sleeping. Suicidal thoughts could also be apparent. Right. Hi. Well, you've already told us, Theodore, that in your case it was the results of being in an abusive relationship, wasn't it? Yes, that's correct. And funny thing is, I didn't realise it was abuse until later on. But it's funny. Well, love is blind, isn't it? When you put up with anything when you're in love, don't you? YU3FI said hi. Yeah. Yeah. Patty Briggs. I used to know someone. So I used to know someone called Patricia Briggs. Is it the same one? Hi. So I don't know you then. That's what I've been wondering that myself. Mm. So sometimes, I mean, I felt a bit depressed recently, just by the state of the world, really. But just by the fact that someone's just killed all the human beings out of the blue and said they're glad they're dead because it makes them happy. What a thing to say. I mean, it was a completely vicious attack, wasn't it? Yeah, well, yeah. Axel Ruder Cabana. But when I was a teenager, I suffered from depression a bit. It was just like my life was a bit unsuccessful, and I got picked on. Are apple pies a cure for depression, are they? Well, it was partly, yeah, I think it was partly that. Partly that caused it. The stain. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what the stain on my moustache is. It's Marmite. It stained me moustache. Oh yeah. Oh, it's my leg. My legs doing a bit of a leg shake. Do that sometimes. Nothing's happened. I've been requested to do a live stream on depression. Let's see if I can find a bit more information on it from my Apple iPhone. I'll read this out from Wikipedia. Depression can have multiple, sometimes overlapping origins. Depression can be a symptom of some mood disorders, some of which are also commonly called depression, such as major depressive disorder, bipolar disorder, and dysmorphia. Additionally, depression can be a normal temporary reaction to life events, such as the loss of a loved one. Depression is also a symptom of some physical diseases and a side effect of some drugs and medical treatments. Adversity in childhood, such as bereavement, neglect, mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, or unequal parental treatment of siblings, can contribute to depression in adulthood. Childhood physical or sexual abuse, in particular, significantly correlates with the likelihood of experiencing depression over the survivor's lifetime. People who have experiences four or more adverse childhood experiences are 3.2 to 4.4 times more likely to suffer from depression. Poor housing quality, non-functionality, lack of green spaces and exposure to noise and air pollution are linked to depressive moods, emphasising the need for consideration in planning to prevent such outcomes. Locality has also been linked to depression and other negative moods. The rate of depression among those who reside in large urban areas is shown to be lower than those who do not. Likewise, those from smaller towns and rural areas tend to have higher rates of depression, anxiety and psychological unwellness. Studies have consistently shown that physicians have had the highest depression and suicide rates compared to people in many other lines of work. I don't know who you are. For suicide, 40% higher for male physicians and 130% higher for female physicians. Life events and changes that may cause depressed mood include, but are not limited to, childbirth, menopause, financial difficulties, unemployment, stress such as from work, education, military service, family living conditions, marriage, etc., a medical diagnosis, cancer, HIV, diabetes, etc., bullying, loss of a loved one, natural disasters, social isolation, rape, relationship troubles, jealousy, separation or catastrophic injury. Some of the depressive symptoms are associated with survivor's guilt. Adolescents may be especially prone to experiencing a depressed mood following social rejection, peer pressure or bullying. Depression in childhood and adolescence is similar to adult major depressive disorder, although young offenders may exhibit increased irritability or behavioural discontrol instead of the more common sad, empty or hopeless feelings seen with adults. Children who are under stress, experiencing loss or have other underlying disorders are at a higher risk for depression. Childhood depression is often comorbid with mental disorders outside of other mood disorders, most commonly anxiety disorder and conduct disorder. Depression also tends to run in families. Depression is associated with low extroversion, and people who have high levels of neuroticism are more likely to experience depressive symptoms and are more likely to receive a diagnosis of a depressive disorder. Additionally, depression is associated with low conscientiousness. Some factors that may arise from low conscientiousness include disorganisation and dissatisfaction with life. Individuals may be more exposed to stress and depression as a result of these factors. A bit more. It is possible that some early generation beta blockers include depression in some patients, though the evidence for this is weak and conflicting. There is strong evidence for a link between alpha interferon therapy and depression. One study found that a third of alpha interferon treated patients had developed depression after 3 months of treatment. there is moderately strong evidence that finasteride, when used in the treatment of alopecia, includes depressive symptoms in some patients. Evidence linking isotretinoin or acne treatment is depression is strong. Other factors that seem to increase the risk of depression include anticonvulsants, anti-migraine drugs, antipsychotics, and hormonal agents such as gonadotropin releasing hormone agonists. Several drugs of abuse can cause or exacerbate depression, whether in intoxication, withdrawal, and from chronic use. These include alcohol, sedatives, including prescription benzodiazepines, opioids, including prescription painkillers, and illicit drugs such as heroin, stimulants such as cocaine and amphetamines, hallucinogens, and inhalants. Depressed mood can be the result of a number of infectious diseases, nutritional deficiencies, neurological conditions, and physiological problems, including hypoandrogenism in men, Addison's disease, Cushing's syndrome, pernicious anemia, hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, Lyme disease, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, celiac disease, chronic pain, stroke, diabetes, cancer, and HIV. Some studies have found that anywhere from 30 to 85% of patients suffering from chronic pain are also clinically depressed. A 2014 study by Hooley et al. Concluded that chronic pain increased the chance of death by suicide by 2 to 3 times. In 2017, the British Medical Association found that 49% of UK chronic pain patients also had depression. As many as a third of stroke survivors will later develop post-stroke depression. Because strokes may cause damage to the parts of the brain involved in processing emotions, reward, and cognition, stroke may be considered a direct cause of depression. I think I've had enough from Wikipedia now. But once again, I'm very impressed with my viewing figures, and it's on the second. It's still on the second part of this live stream about depression, and a live stream about depression is getting better viewing figures than anything else I've ever done. So it must be what people want to talk about. It must be what people are experiencing. It must be what they want to talk about. I think living in this world can be depressing. Well, it wasn't just at school. It was afterwards as well. Hi. Do I like cheese rolls? Yeah, they're fine. But you can find plenty of information about if you're not feeling too happy. You can find plenty of information about depression online. Well, I don't think the angle of my camera angle has got very much to do with it, really. It's not a thing to get depressed about that. I don't have it really. I'm not that depressed really these days. I just got requested to do a live stream about it by somebody who obviously has suffered from it to a certain extent. Me, I'm 55. I'm going to be 56 shortly. Not long off. This summer. Do I believe in God? Oh God. Yeah, I do. Yeah, do. A1. Well, I did a live stream on A1, didn't I? AI, oh wait, AI, yes. AI. Hmm. Jack Black? Why do I look like Jack Black? What do you want to know that for? Which book in Bible? In the Bible, Revelation is my favourite, really, because it's all full of, you know, it's all full of symbolic imagery, isn't it? Oh, you keep asking me that. If you ask me that question, you'll really will be depressed. Is that a computer game? Say my name, say my name. What makes you think I can't say Bella? I don't wear knickers, put it that way. I wear Y fronts. I don't know why you're asking me these ridiculous questions. Well, I am. I'm trying to get your public watch hours increased. Yeah, well, I'm not into that. I'm not interested in that. No, I'm not. Why'd you ask? Sad that. Sad. It's sad that I hope the best for people too. Don't leave. Don't go. Well, I'm glad they did. I'm pleased to hear that. Pleased about that. Glad you. Thanks for telling me. Thanks for letting me know. I don't have dogs or cats. I'm fine. Rats? I've not got a rat either. About half an hour. Past half hour I've been live for now. I'm going to do it for another hour as well. Get me public watch hours up. Why am I autistic? Well, because I was born that way. I don't know about that when I'm going to the next football match. Well, I don't know. I couldn't tell you because I'm not an expert on these things. Me, I'm 55. Me? What are my plans for the day now? Let me see. What? I don't want to sing. This isn't meant to be a singing. It's where am I from? I'm from Northwich in Cheshire. Well, it is, isn't it? Oh, here we go again. Does anybody want to? Does anybody has anybody ever had any bouts of depression they'd like to tell us about? That's not very much, not all that much, no. Yeah, has anybody ever had any bouts of depression they'd like to talk about? You felt depressed when your cat died? Well, it's that's I'm sorry about your cat. That's a shame, that. Well, but my cat died, long time ago when he was 19. I'll tell you what happened. She got savaged by a couple of Alsatians, and the neighbour took her to the vets, and she died of a punctured lung at the vets. She was 13 years old. It was a long time ago. It's like, I was only 19 then. Going for a little quiet patch right now, aren't I? It's a bit quite painful being constipated, isn't it? Hurts like hell. I've got 3 ones. My bidding figures are 1 1 none now. 3 ones. At least it's not 3 sixes. Oh dear, he was pretty blood for 2 weeks. I got depressed when Dr. Shipman terminated my nan. We've got Theodore William Hopes wondering why everyone's talking about urinary excretory functions here. You can say that again. Oh. Yeah. Castle Private Club. I'm wondering that. I'm wondering that myself. Has anybody ever had any bouts of depression that they want to discuss with the rest of us? No, is anybody suffering from depression that'd like to talk about it? What the causes of it are, or if you have suffered from depression, what were the causes? Could you like to talk about what the causes of it were? Castle Private Club, and they have bowls there, do they? I tell you what, all my live stream discussions, they've mostly all got one thing in common. They all end up being about anything. They all end up being about anything apart from what they were initially supposed to be about. Because people just post. You saw me playing bowls there at Castle Private Club. What book in the Bible would you tell? Genesis, maybe, Exodus, Leviticus. Why is it making you? Well, it was something I was requested to do. I was requested to do a live stream on depression. The next one will be about something else entirely. I'm a legend, am I? That's the second book in the Bible. That's true. I don't look 13 at all. Nonsense that. How many 13-year-olds have got beards? Yeah, how many 9-year-olds have got beards? I'm a lot older than 19. I'm 55. Well, I am. I'm glad to hear I look young for my age. My day's fine, thanks. Yeah, I'm nearly 56. So you should expect people. Well, I'm trying to get this live stream up to an hour's length, and it's so sometimes when I try to get things up to a certain length of time, I run out of things to say sometimes. Reading a book to us will be better. Just silence. Reggie off me on the phone. Silence is golden. Right. Let's read this from off the NHS website. Right. Depression is more than simply feeling unhappy or fed up for a few days. Most people go through periods of feeling down, but when you're depressed, you feel persistently sad for weeks or months, rather than just a few days. Some people think depression is trivial and not a genuine health condition. They're wrong. It is a real illness with real symptoms. Depression is not a sign of weakness or something you can snap out of by pulling yourself together. The good news is that with the right treatment and support, most people with depression can make a full recovery. These pages are about depression. Depression affects people in different ways and can cause a wide variety of symptoms. They range from lasting feelings of unhappiness and hopelessness to losing interest in the things you used to enjoy and feeling very tearful. Many people with depression also have symptoms of anxiety. There can be physical symptoms too, such as feeling constantly tired, sleeping badly, having no appetite or sex drive, and various aches and pains. The symptoms of depression range from mild to severe. At its mildest, you may simply feel persistently low in spirit, while severe depression can make you feel suicidal, that life is no longer worth living. Most people experience feelings of stress, anxiety, or low mood during difficult times. A low mood may improve after a short period of time rather than being a sign of depression. It's important to seek help from a GP if you think you may be depressed. Many people wait a long time before seeking help for depression, but it's best not to delay. The sooner you see a doctor, the sooner you can be on the way to recovery. Sometimes there's a trigger for depression. Life-changing events such as bereavement, losing your job or giving birth can bring it on. People with a family history of depression are more likely to experience it themselves, but you can also become depressed for no obvious reason. Treatment for depression can involve a combination of lifestyle changes, talking therapies and medicine. Your recommended treatment will be based on how severe your depression is. See, I've read a bit. That's maybe it's maybe the bit I've read. Well, it doesn't really affect me. I've just been requested to do a live stream on it. I don't really suffer from depression, really. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, it does apply to people. Well, yeah. Right. Got this up to, managed to get this up to an hour's length. Yeah. That's good to hear. Well, not done so badly with this. I managed to get it up to an hour's length. I've had 20 clicks on the like button. So let's have one last. Yeah, well, thanks very much. Has anybody found any of the information about out in this live stream to be at all useful? Yeah, I'm just wondering. You know what I mean? Is anybody? No. No. Fair enough. I've not done so badly with my viewing figures, and it just shows that it must be a subject that people want to know about. That's why they're that's why they're choosing to watch this particular the videos on this particular topic. It must be something that's affecting people nowadays. Well, he does, yeah, he does. You're right about that. I know it's not particular. It's not a particularly joyful subtopic, but I'm not worried about anything. The topic is I was requested to do a live stream on depression by someone whose depression was caused by an abusive relationship. Anyway, well, my channel isn't monetized, so unfortunately you can't do that. But I'm getting there. I mean, you need to have had 3,000 public watch hours in the last 365 days. I've got the number of subscribers. It's just my public watch hours that are holding me back. You need to have had 3,000 public watch hours in the last 365 days. I'm rapidly getting up to the 2,000 mark now. Right. This, I think this is a point where I heard about that. What did you hear about? What was it that you heard about? Yeah, monetization. Well, I'm not monetized, you see, because I've got the number of subscribers, but I haven't had but it's my number of public watch hours that are holding me back at the moment. But I need to have had 3,000 in the last 365 days. But I'm very rapid getting towards the 2,000 mark now. Yeah, well, you need a certain amount of people watching your vids to get your public watch hours up. But a lot of people have watched this. My viewing figures on this have been quite good, quite reasonable. Yeah. Hopefully I will. Then I'll have a job there once my YouTube channel has been monetized. I'll be working then.